But we begin this afternoon with jury deliberations currently underway in Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial. The panel has now sent 2 notes to the judge with requests. The first asking to hear some testimony again. The second asking to rehear the judge's instructions. And good afternoon, I'm David Navarro.
I'm Sandra Bookman in today for Liz. The jury has been deliberating for more than 4 hours now. The outcome of this, of course, this history-making case is in the hands of 7 men and 5 women who have vowed to be fair and impartial. They have the unprecedented task of determining whether Trump is guilty of 34 felony charges of falsifying business records related to a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels.
The jury listened to 16 days of testimony from 22 witnesses, but in order to obtain a conviction, the prosecution needs the jury to come to a unanimous decision. Eyewitness News reporter Burkett has been covering this trial since it started more than 6 weeks ago. Joins us live in Lower Manhattan.
That's right, Dave. You mentioned 22 witnesses in this case. The trial transcript itself is 12 inches thick. So late this afternoon, the lawyers were pouring through those transcripts because the jury asked to hear testimony, to read testimony from former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and Trump's former attorney Michael Cohen. So where are they going with all of this? You can speculate, but it's impossible to say for sure.
Minutes after deliberations began, Donald Trump sought to downplay expectations by comparing himself to Mother Teresa.
It's a disgrace, and I mean that. Mother Teresa could not beat those charges, but we'll see. We'll see how we do.
With the former president sitting just feet away, the jurors sat laser-focused as Judge Juan Merchan issued his final instructions. You were asked to make a very important decision about another member of the community. Then, acknowledging that Trump is not just another member of the community, he told them you must set aside any personal opinions you have in favor or against the defendant. Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records. At the heart of the case, a $130,000 payment made to porn actress Stormy Daniels, who told the jury she had an affair with Trump in 2006. She came forward days before the 2016 election after Trump was caught on an Access Hollywood outtake, boasting about kissing and groping women.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Although the former president has denied the allegation, prosecutors say he ordered his personal attorney, Michael Cohen, to buy her silence. Cohen testified that Trump was desperate to save the campaign and later covered up the payment, listing it as a legal expense. The defense has insisted that Cohen felt marginalized after Trump won the White House and the FBI began investigating him, that he later turned on his former boss with a giant axe to grind. Trump never left the defense table to take the witness stand. The judge said jurors must not hold that against him. As for Cohen, jurors can disregard his entire testimony if they believe that any aspect of it was false. But they don't have to. They may choose to accept some aspects and reject others. There are very few things that we know with absolute certainty, he told the jurors, but it is not sufficient to prove that the defendant is probably guilty. It must be proof that leaves you so firmly convinced of the defendant's guilt that you have no reasonable doubt.
Again, late this afternoon, the jury has asked to hear testimony from Michael Cohen and David Pecker. That may mean that the jury is trying to corroborate Michael Cohen's testimony with that from the former National Enquirer publisher, David Pecker, Michael Pecker. In any case, it appears that the jury is working through all of this. They also asked for the instructions from the judge. We expect to have them hear that shortly. They have said that they will work at least until 4:30. We do expect them to be adjourned for the day if they do not reach a verdict by that time, and it certainly appears that they will not. Live in Lower Manhattan, NJ Burkett, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, NJ. We invite you to stay with Eyewitness News and ABC News for all the latest developments in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial.